people have trouble seeing anything new. Period. Doesn't matter if race is involved. It doesn't matter what it is. They just have trouble dealing with new stuff.
All right, welcome back to the Multi-Tap. I am your host, Lee Boy, along with my co-host, the self-proclaimed King of Games, Kruja. And today, you're tapping on Multi-Tap, and we're going to be talking about some controversy things that's been happening in the comic book movie world. Kruja, take it away.
Yeah, not just the comic book movie world, just in general. Like, if we can just go off on a tangent for a second.
Oh, so you want to just rip on movies in general?
Just movies in general, because it's not the same. Like, movies used to be a good escapism, but now everything is, I kind of want to say agenda driven. I don't have, the 100% facts, but every story seems like it's just the same. It's just the same. Like, all of the heroes that we grew up with, they all got to be ruined. They all got to be not really heroes because we have to promote a new agenda and we have to give agency where it's not necessary. Like, it's not. What happened to where we used to just have strong characters in general? Nowadays, you can't have, I don't want to go too much in a tangent, but you can't have like a strong female character without having a stupid male character. And it's like, why can't you have both strong characters? Why, in order for a female to look strong, the man has to be stupid? Isn't that taken away from the message that you're trying to deliver? Because in order for them to take charge, the men have to be stupid? No, why can't you just make two strong characters? Why can't one? What they did in Star Wars was a travesty with Rey, right? Because what they could have did, and they could have had a legitimate legacy going forward. Because I understand that they want to make new characters because old characters have rights and they have dollar associations, and that's mostly why they create new characters in old stories and old franchises. And so that way they can have better contracts where the companies are not paying out the behind when it comes to these things. So I understand why they wanted to make, Rey the center of the Star Wars universe, but you could have had it where Luke Skywalker mentored her and you wouldn't have lost half your fan base, maybe more than half your fan base, simply just by having her mentored by the old heroes. Because making new movies and making, remakes of movies is nothing new to Hollywood. The newness of it is that, back in the day, it used to take maybe 50 years before they would remake something, 40 or 50 years before they remake something. So it's a new generation that's going to see it. But when you take the movie like The Little Mermaid, where I grew up as a kid watching it, and then you bring it out, I'm still your target audience because I'm the one with the kids and I'm the one that's going to take the kids. And if you just separate race for a second, people have trouble seeing anything new, period. Doesn't matter if race is involved. It doesn't matter what it is. They just have trouble dealing with new stuff, where you're going at a 50% loss to begin with because you're trying something new. And then on top of that, you want to do this swap and it looks completely different. It doesn't look like anything that we want. And then we know that going into it, that's not the only change. We know that there's going to be other changes in it. And, spoiler alert, at the end of the day, when it comes to Little Mermaid, Eric doesn't save the day. Ariel climbs and she knows how to magically stir the ship, and she's the one that drives the ship into Ursula's heart.
Nani? Whoa. Spoiler for everybody that didn't see the movie. Is that what happened in the film?
That's what happens. She stirs the ship into Ursula and she saves Eric, who's in the water, right? Now, fine, you want the female to be the main hero of the day, even though she did save him prior to that when he was going to be fish food. But let's take that story that you did, right? Why does King Triton now have faith that the humans are going to keep his daughter safe? Because in the original, Eric saves the day and proves that he can keep his baby safe. Proves that humans are now trustworthy. Because remember, King Triton hates humans. But you decided to rewrite that because you didn't want Eric to save the day. So now tell me that you wrote this new story. How does King Triton trust the humans? Because they can't even keep his baby safe.
Okay, I'm shocked. You went and seen this movie? You actually saw this?
I saw part of it.
Okay. Oh, okay. You saw the ending.
So I saw the ending and I've heard of it. So
man, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not going nowhere near that film. Okay. Because my kids probably saw it because they went on a school trip, but I'm not touching that film. Nowhere near touching that film. at
Yeah, no,
all.
I had no interest on seeing it, but I wanted to see if that was true, and it turned out to be true. So like I seen parts from various YouTube that are probably taken down by now, but um, that's the sad part of it. So that
So a mermaid knows how to steer a ship.
yep,
All of a sudden, is the captain.
the captain, and she didn't mess up. She steered it perfectly, aimed that bow perfectly right through the heart. I mean, but okay, you want to do that? That's fine. Explain to me now, how does King Triton have trust to let Ariel be a part of that world? Because that was the main thing. It's like King Triton hated humans, and then he sees humanity differently when Eric sacrifices his life to steer that ship into Ursula, not knowing what's going to happen, and winds up saving Ariel and the rest of the Mermaid Kingdom. But now it's Ariel that saved it, so it proves that the humans can't even keep her safe.
We talked about this off camera. We talked about this many a times off camera about how in Hollywood, they don't know how to make good female leads without messing it up, and or not knowing what the audience and fan base want. It's nothing wrong with her saving the day. Let's make sure we got that clear. It's nothing wrong with her saving the day. But you gotta have it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Have it make sense and make it fit into the storyline, because her being a mermaid and not knowing how to steer a ship and killing old homegirl, that's just off. That's completely off. If you was going for a change, they could have done it a different way. You know what I'm saying? She knows what does she know how to do better than him? She knows how to swim. She was a mermaid. So it would have been better had it been something related to, being in the water or something like that. Like say, or let's just say he did do the steering and it was going into her, whatever the case may be, and somehow, some way, Ursula grabbed him and was going to kill him or something like that, and she takes him down into the water. Remember, she's dying, so now she grabs him and she takes him down in the water. Who's gonna go down there? Who can hold their breath for a long time? Who has backup? And you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense. Like, she goes, that's my man. I'm gonna go get him. That makes sense. When you sit there talking about she turned it to Captain Hook or Jack Sparrow and just feel like that.
But following the same line, right? Do you know what the rumors? I don't know if you follow this, but you know what the rumors are right now about the Indiana Jones, right?
I think you told me something about that, but before you touch on Indiana Jones, let me go back to my point. I think I got a little discombobulated and off track there. But the point was, just to make it quick, because I want you to talk about Indiana Jones. Back in the 90s, when we had Xena, we had Buffy the Vampire Slayer, these characters were strong women leads who led their own show. The show was about them. Guys had, and they kick ass. Guys had no problem with these females. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, were they attractive to look at? Let's be real. Yes, the hell they were. But that wasn't the. I'm not gonna say that's the main focal point. Like, they were good to look at, but then they also was kicking butt. And then the dudes that were around them, they weren't no slouches. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put men. You never see them having to put men down to big themselves up. It was anything. It was always about showing and proving for these characters. Xena always had to show everybody, look, I got them hands. Fuck with me if you want, but I got them hands. And Buffy, she was always trying to, it was different for her because there was nobody that was like her. You know what I'm saying? It was like being Superman or Smallville. Like, there was nobody in her circle or in her realm who was like her, who had super strength, had to deal with stopping apocalypses and vampires and all kind of stuff, and having to be a teenager at the same time, dealing with school, boyfriends, and the everyday life that comes with just being a person who she wanted. Like, she didn't really want to, I'm not gonna say she really wanted to, but she wanted a normal life, but she knew that she couldn't have a normal life. So you saw the ins and out from her perspective. Easy. And mind you, she had Xander. Xander wasn't the total complete smart guy. I understand that, but he was no pushover because you also had Angelus on the other side of that coin. You know what I'm saying? So but again, Indiana Jones.
Well, before we go to Indiana, let me go back into Little Mermaid real quick, because I just remembered something else. Yeah, just because I remember
more under the sea.
So so the mainstream media is saying that it is because it's not getting a favorable rating when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. So much so that they had to change the rating. How, Sway? Yeah, they had to change the rating. Hold on. Let me bring this up real quick. Hold on. You see this, right?
Uh-huh.
This is how it always been.
So now it's saying, well, according to what I'm looking at, saying that the audience likes this movie.
Right, and that's because they changed the way it works. You ready for this? You ready for the magic? I'm going to click on audience score, and now they have verified audience and all audience. So when I click on all audience, it goes to 57%. But all audience shouldn't matter. It should only be the verified audience, whatever that means. That does that, and it's hidden. Did you realize that there's no prompt? There's no prompt. I just have to click here, and I can see all audiences.
What type of sorcery is this?
That's so people don't see it. So people are like, oh, should we take our kids to see The Little Mermaid? Oh yeah.
All right. So just so we're not bugging, pull up a movie that is widely acclaimed by everybody.
Oh, this is funny because they're saying that it's racist terrorists that are dragging this movie down. Right, racist terrorists. They don't want, and they won't want black movies to succeed. They don't want black people in movies to succeed. And you got Spider-Verse.
Okay, all right. Now I've heard nothing but good things about this one. Right. Nothing but good things. Let's see.
So here you go, Spider-Verse.
Oh, damn! Look at that. Okay.
But remember, there's magic. There's magic, right? So you ready for the magic?
Let's see the magic.
Ready? Right. So this is
Let's
go.
go.
This is the verified audience.
Verified audience. Let's go.
And this is all audience. You know why? Because the movie is good. Racist didn't take a day off. You know, just I'm not watching Little Mermaid. Does that make me racist? I guess we can't be friends anymore. You know, and keep in mind, these movies came out a week apart. These movies are a week apart from release date. So I guess they can only work once a week every month. So Into the Spider-Verse got away with being a movie about starring a black person.
Oh man,
they said racist terrorists. I wish I could find the art.
Let's make sure everybody that's watching this that we're clear. We're not judging The Little Mermaid off of race. It's not.
No, we're not.
It's not about that. We're just saying that they should have made another film besides a black Little Mermaid. Should have done there's other black characters. Every time you hear us talk about this here on Multi-Tap, when it comes down to that, it's like there's other characters. We're all for there being a black movie starring black people with black characters in it, but don't sit there and race swap them. It's to me, it's like a downgrade. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard people say, "Oh, it's not. I don't feel that way," because I'm like, well, all right. So when Tom Cruise plays Black Panther, let's see you keep that same energy.
No, let's do this. Let's do even better. Let's make it a little bit more simple so people can understand. Training Day, a fantastic movie. Okay, nowadays, you can't have a black character that's bad, right? So let's change it a little bit. This movie is gonna star, Christian Bale and Idris Elba, but the roles are gonna be swapped. Both fantastic actors, right? But Denzel Washington's part is gonna be played by Christian Bale now.
So you're talking about the reboot, Training Day, the reboot, starring Christian Bale and Idris Elba. So everybody thinking Idris is gonna be playing Denzel part,
but it's not. It's gonna be Christian Bale, fantastic actor, both of them, fantastic. Is that gonna be a good movie? No, because we don't like change. Nobody's racist; they just don't like change. It's not gonna be a good movie because Denzel killed it. How would you feel about that movie that I just mentioned right now?
It would be surprising because I do like both actors, but I'll be like, man, we're doing a reboot, and I was scratching my head on why is Christian Bale playing Denzel's part. I definitely would be scratching my head on that one.
Why not just have, or you can take both of those actors and make a buddy cop film, and it'd probably be 100 times better.
I'm just waiting for all the people to come out when Tom Cruise is the Black Panther.
His movie
Luke Cage. I'm just waiting.
He's currently the only movie star that's really killing it, like really killing it out there right now. But look at this. This right here. This proves that they're wrong when it comes to this, because your verified audience is not much different than the real audience. So why do you have this in the beginning, in the first place?
They just added that.
Yeah, they just added this for the Little Mermaid. Just for the Little Mermaid. This is new. This is brand spanking new. This is like
If I've never seen someone campaign an agenda for something, and I think again, this is where it goes back to that they're doing all of this, and it's gonna come up to a point where don't get mad when Tom Cruise is the Black
Malcolm X starring Tom Hardy.
Listen, I'm telling you, bro. And listen, again, I'm all for there being different kinds of movies and different kinds of things.
Even the critics, they're hiding. The all critics or the top critics? How come it's all here and top here, but here it's verified here and all audio? Wouldn't you do all in all? Wouldn't you do all in all? This makes no sense. So you have only the verified top critics here that you're hiding because it's worse. And so that means that what it does is it hides the worst number. It doesn't matter if it's top or verified, it hides the worst number. And
well.
Isn't that lying to your audience? Isn't that lying to the people?
It's the Wizard of Oz smoke screen. It's them trying to project in front of you something that's not true.
They're calling people terrorists because of the rating. So you see this rating, right?
So we should make a movie, and people don't like it. They need to change the rating because.
Well, right now, even the critics are not liking Indiana Jones, and I'm saying 4, but I think it's 5. Was it 4? Okay, whatever it is, right? So the critics are not liking it. They're saying that it's a lukewarm way for Harrison Ford to go out, right? And so in the end of the last Indiana Jones, he got married to the love of his life finally, and all this fantastic stuff, and he was happy. So, of course, how are they going to start this movie? He's a divorced loser. He doesn't do any, treasure hunting or raiding. He just is in a bar, like drinking. And this is all rumors. I haven't seen the movie yet, but this is pretty much in a lot of people's reviews that are already, because I think the NDA is up already. But he's a loser. He's down on his luck. He's divorced. He couldn't keep his wife or nothing like that. And so his goddaughter comes on the scene, and she's the one that's going to do the raiding. She's the one that's going to save the day, and she's the one that this film is ultimately about. He doesn't train her because he's not good. He's not good anymore. He's weak. And that's how you do continue your franchises. That's what you want to do with your franchise. And they do it. It's the same thing that happened in Star Wars.
So
the same thing that happened in Obi-Wan. It's just all. It's the same crap. And it's like, you're supposed to like this, and if you don't like this, you're a racist terrorist. And it's like, no, this is garbage. It's the same garbage. Or it's like you have a formula. It's like you have an outline of an essay, and this is how you do your movie. It's based off of this Disney outline, and that you have to do it like this, and it has to hit all these points, and has to have all of these things. There's no storytelling anymore. There's no freedom. There's no creativity. It's just garbage, and it's brave, and it's bold, and it's garbage. That's what it is. It's garbage.
So the star of all of these films he's going out like a sucker.
Like a sucker. Like a sucker.
Ain't no need to talk no more.
It gets even worse because it's time travel involved. So I think he gets erased from existence or some dumb shit like that. But it's even supposed to be even worse.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's one of the rumors I heard. I don't know how true it is. I'm hoping it's not true, but it wouldn't.
That got to be a rumor, bro. Because if it's true, I'm sorry. Whoever they should be thrown in the grinder. Because why would you do that to Indiana Jones? Why?
The way the rumor goes is that because time travel is involved, he winds up getting erased from history, and she has to his goddaughter has to redo his exploits and redo everything that he did in the other movies. So that's the way it goes.
So essentially, erasing him from the whole thing in general.
Yeah, so they can restart the franchise with her, but you just burnt your fans. So I don't know why did Disney pay billions of dollars for all these IPs if they're just gonna drive them into the ground? I don't understand that. It's like me taking a Batman character and I'm gonna make the show about Batgirl. Like, why? What would be the purpose? You want that built-in fan base, and then you big up Batman, you have a fantastic Bat story, and then you have him mentor Batgirl, and then you have a spin-off, so now you have 2 good franchises, but you drive it into the ground because you throw all of our heroes into the garbage can because they shouldn't be heroes. You know what I honestly believe? I believe the people that are running these companies, not even necessarily running them, but that are in charge of these shows and these movies are like me, right? And what I'm going to say is probably going to make a lot of sense. What do I like to do to you whenever we talk? whenever you first ask me a question, there's always a fake answer and there's a real answer.
I
And
hate that.
and the
I
fake
hate it.
and the fake answer is always a troll answer, right? And it's why do I do it? To get a rise out of you, right? And I think that all of these writers, they're like, haha, Star Wars, we're gonna show all of these Star Wars geeks how it really is. Let's make Obi-Wan weak and not save the day. We'll let Reva save the day, and so that way we can turn them, and then we can show them, and when they complain about it on the internet, we can say they're racist and bigots. And I think that's what it is. I think that it's just trolls that are writing this, and they get a kick out of it.
We're being trolled.
Being trolled, and I don't understand how you can let it happen because your money's going into the garbage, right? None of these movies are making as much money as they used to be. They praised Little Mermaid because it came out swinging and it made good domestically, but internationally it didn't. This movie needs about 600, 700 million just to break even because, spoiler alert, they don't get all the money that they get from the box office. A lot of that goes to the actual, theater companies, and when it comes to China, they get 80% to the government. So it's like it's not like if they make 600 million, they can say, "Oh, we made a lot of money." No, they didn't. They broke even because they don't get that 600 million. They maybe get 30 to 40, maybe even 50% of that 600 million. And when they spend, 150 million on the movie or 250 million on the movie, and then another 150 million on advertisement with a $10 million Oscars slot, they're not making money. And they're going to have an investor problem. And this is what's going to happen. The people that love superhero movies, the people that love seeing their cartoons turned into live action roles, that's going to go away because people are not going to want to invest.
Well, I'm not investing my time in crap. I'm not doing it. If it's not good and you're not doing it the way it's supposed to be, if you don't, and I've always said this, you always got to stick to the fans that got you to the dance. People that got you there. People that got you to this finish line. If it wasn't for Marvel, like for example, just using Marvel as an example, if it wasn't for the fans who really care about these characters, Marvel and the Marvel Studios would be nothing. Okay, nothing. They owe it to their fans. Who came out for Iron Man? Right. Remember, that's what started the Marvel Studios. Who came up with the comic book fans? So they wanted to see it. It looked good. And they said, "Let's just give this a try."
It was perfect.
Word of mouth started passing on, and everybody's like, "Yo, go check out Iron Man!" And boom. Marvel Studios. Yeah. But the thing about comic book fans that they know for a fact is that comic book fans to a default are loyal.
Yeah.
They will go like even if they don't like, they'll oh shit, I don't like this. But I'm gonna still go see it.
Yeah, what are you going to see soon? What are you going to see soon?
Shut up.
He's going to see Ezra Miller soon. So he's preaching what he's preaching.
I'm like this with it because it's like I want to boycott it, but it's like it's the Flash. And it's like I gotta see it. I have to. If they do a part 2, I'm not. I don't care who in part 2. And Grant and here's the biggest thing. If Grant Gustin is not, if he doesn't make a cameo appearance in this film,
he's not.
If listen, I hope it's still there. Okay? If he doesn't make a cameo appearance in this film, I am boycotting Ezra Miller as the Flash. I'll make it my agenda to boycott this dude as the Flash, because I read something where the director was like, "Oh, no," I read something where he said, "No one else could have played this part better than Ezra Miller. He's the best." I was like, "You need to stop smoking your own stuff, bro."
That's also the same interview where he said they're not going to replace him.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. He said if they do a sequel, and I hope they don't, because that means he ain't got to play the Flash.
If this movie makes $1 billion, which is not on track to make $1 billion, because I think people are disinterested with the DC franchise right now because they know it means nothing with this new reboot that's happening. So people are like, why should we go see it, right? So I don't think it's going to, but if it magically does $1 billion, I guarantee you it's getting a sequel. There's no reason not to. That would be crazy.
No Grant Gustin, no sequel for me. That's all I got.